If you have something to offer, stop by for a moment.
What happened to you?
A wheel on our wagon broke, so we're waiting here for my husband to come back from the village.
You're lucky you didn't run into any footpads. The roads are treacherous these days.
What can we do? We have to make a living somehow. Do you want to buy anything?
How did you come by this stuff?
How? Well, you see, the farmers sell us what they don't need and so forth.
Why do I get the feeling, woman, that this stuff is stolen, eh?
So what if it is? Who cares? Everyone's just doing the best they can.
Where are you coming from, and where are you headed?
Oh, here and there. All over the place. Times are hard, you know. What the farm folk have to sell, we buy. And we bring them what they're in need of.
Times are hard because there's people thriving on others' misery.
Can't argue with that. We're barely making ends meet ourselves. Everybody thinks twice before they part with their money these days.
I'll be happy to take a look at your wares.
Of course. No trouble at all. Happy to be of service, sir.
Christ almighty! Quick! Go! There now. God! Go!
Whoa!
Stick 'em. Gah! Quick!
Hey, it's me. Come over here.
No longer calling me Hans, then?
Well, see, I discovered the truth of the matter. Hans double-crossed me.
How do you know?
I found out by chance. It wasn't just me that fell for that tale of selling wares for a tidy profit in Germany. He'd take people to taverns, get all friendly with them, then take all their goods and vanish.
How many people are we talking about?
I know of at least 3. But it wouldn't surprise me if there wasn't a lot more of us.
It happens all the time. Well, you should report him. They'll catch him and give him what for.
It's already been done. He got caught with stolen goods somewhere. Then one thing led to another, and they found out he was involved in all sorts of dodgy business.
Well, that's good, isn't it?
I suppose so. But it made me realize how hard it is to trust anyone these days.
Not everybody's out to get you.
I hope you're not, at least. Sorry I mistook you for him. But you do look a lot alike.
So, chances are you won't be seeing your money from Hans again, will you?
I suppose not. Well, lesson learnt at least.
I'd like to purchase something.
Take your pick. What are you doing, you whistler? What? What's that? Never mind. I thought there was something fishy going on.
Gah! Gah! Quick! Go!
Slowly. Nice and slow.
What can you do, sir? Maybe next time, then.
Pretty gross.
Piece of rubbish!
Why? Who are you calling a piece of rubbish?
Not you! The cannon!
I cannot what?
The cannon!
Is that you?
That pièce de pacotille could not handle one burst!
First? But you missed the gate first time! I told you we should aim.
What do you think about Malashov? We were damn lucky.
More like the people damned lucky. I'm glad out of pinning it down.
More than talk.
If to stand up to him, my lord.
He'll want revenge.
You humiliate him in front of his own men. It'd be eye on him. Or go and have it out with him, straight up.
Any idea what'll happen next?
Another madcap scheme, most likely. What else? That's all we ever seem to do, in case you hadn't noticed.
Sometimes I ask myself what me and Capon have got ourselves into.
I tell you what you've got yourselves into, but I don't want to start cursing.
What do you think of Rosa Ruthard? Never met a girl like her before.
What do I know? She's a Schickse, so not for me. She's quite comely, but a bit too smart for her own good. A man has to be wary of those, or else he will end up like Adam did with Lilith. Think of the poor fellow who will have her for a wife one day.
How'd you feel?
What did you say?
How do you feel?
C'est terrible, mon ami! When the cannon flew apart, I thought we were done for. I am alive, but I feel like all my bones have been ground to dust.
Kubienka doesn't look too worse for wear.
Because I took the force of the blast for the both of us. I pushed him aside at the last moment.
Aha. How did you know that the cannon was about to burst?
Intuition, mon ami.
Go fuck yourself!
Mein Gott, ist das Blut?
Believe in yourself.
How's it going, Captain? Do you have any work for me?
Sehr interessant. I thought you were helping Shishka.
What of it? So is there anything you need a hand with, Frenzel?
Zum Glück nicht. Nothing urgent. If you're looking for einen Fuschen, try your luck elsewhere.
I'm just getting warmed up.
I'd like to learn something.
What do you want to know?
I'd like to be more skillful with an axe.
I'll tell you some interesting things.
I'd like to learn something.
What are you interested in?
I'd like to know a few tricks with a halberd.
I'll tell you some interesting things.
Good day to you.
You're in a foul temper today, aren't you? For fuck's sake, this bloody war's all we need. Go fuck yourself! All our allies gone, and the women folk are pissed off.
What can I do for you?
I'd like to use your services.
Aye, I can smell it from here.
Tend to my wounds, prepare me a bath, and wash my clothes, please.
Great, but it'll cost you.
I'll gladly pay you.
Wonderful. You'll see. You'll be happy to come back here.
I reckon that's it. Take care of yourself out there, friend.
It's good that Peter's recovered. He's a good bloke. We miss him.
You've lived through more battles than I have. What do you think about Malashov?
I won't lie. There were moments when I was ready to meet my maker. But in the end, I was amazed how it turned out.
So you didn't believe in us?
I did. I just figured we'd have to get our hands dirty. But in the end, we managed to keep them pretty clean. Thanks in part to you.
No, it was nothing, really.
If you say so. But I'm glad to see you still got that boy from Skalitz in you.
I'm not sure what to think of Malashov. I reckon it was a success, but I can't bring myself to feel happy about it.
What's done is done. The devil got his ass kicked, the peasants still have a roof over their heads. And if it weren't for you, half our men who are now rotting beneath the walls would still be breathing.
What would you have done in my place?
In your place, I would have kept my mouth shut and done as I was told. Look, I know you probably imagined yourself heroically saving the king and protecting innocents. And believe me, that's exactly what we're doing. It's just not as simple and honorable as we'd like it to be.
So, I'm back. How's it going? Have you got anything out of von Bergov?
Not yet. We need to fix ourselves up after the battle. We'll hear what Otto has to say tomorrow.
I've got some meat that would be good for sausages.
Hey? Show me. Well, you got it, or you don't got it.
Sorry. I thought I had more.
Nice work! Nice work indeed. You saved the peasants but sent your own men to the slaughter. You like to keep your hands clean, but war is a nasty business. So who are you going to sacrifice for your conscience next? Your little Jew brother? Cape on? Yourself? You play the game, but you don't understand the rules. And in the end, you'll lose. You learned nothing. You understood nothing. And yet I tried so hard. And yet we share the same fate. Lord! My family was slain too, by the Turks. I felt just like you do. And Eric went through the same thing. That's why I took him in. We're one big family. Of orphans. Well, of course, you do have a father. Although he's not gone so far as to give you his name.
Hail Mary.
Is von Bergov's interrogation starting soon?
You came at the right time. We're just about to deal with him. And you can join in.
Welcome to Sukdol, Lord von Bergov. Despite the circumstances that brought you here.
It is an honor, Peter. Compared to what I had to endure from Zizka and Kunstadt, your good manners are a welcome change.
I'll do my best to make your, involuntary stay no more inconvenient than it has to be.
Aren't you being a bit too welcoming, Sir Peter?
Just what I was thinking. Fuck that bollocks! He's a captive, not some busty wench. He's only alive to squeal what he knows. It'd be quicker if I just beat it out of him.
Just a beating? What about breaking a finger or two? Or singeing the soles of his feet? We had first-hand experience of various methods in the Trotsky dungeon, didn't we?
Curva, lad, that's not a bad idea. You know what? I'll tear out the last few hairs he has on his mangy head.
Instead of these pathetic threats, why do you not make me an offer? You do know that I am...
Shut your trap, Otto. Right now you're nothing. You lost most of your men at Rabos, and the rest croaked when we took Malashov. So what do you have left? A nice coat and a smug face.
Do you really think Sigismund made me his chamberlain because of my soldiers? Or to have someone to take care of the running of conquered fortresses?
Shut up, damn it! We're asking the questions.
Really? Then why have I not heard a single one yet? And what a shame that is. I am a pragmatic man, and I'm sure we can work something out. But lay a hand on me, and you will not hear a single word.
This is unbelievable. He's lost everything, but he still thinks he can push us around.
Well, he's right, though. He is one of Sigismund's closest men.
You're buying that? He talks just like Jobst. When he gets here, they can yap till doomsday for all I care. But now we just don't have the time.
Jobst wants to come back here. After he got away from us by the skin of his teeth?
Well, he has to show Sigismund our army up close.
So it's true. I couldn't believe the Margrave had finally made a move. I thought he would never march into battle.
See? Fortune is turning her back on you people. A pragmatic man like you ought to recognize an opportunity. If you help us, the Margrave will remember you for it. And we'll also let bygones be bygones.
You're getting ahead of yourself a bit, boy. The crown is still firmly on Sigismund's head, and the Jobst won't find it easy to wrest it of him. Although, I expect you people have no idea of the situation Sigismund is in right now.
Oh. What situation is he in, then?
In the shit, Lord Trotsnov. In the shit. So, a sensible person should seize every opportunity that presents itself. And I am eminently sensible. Lord Capon.
Yes?
When you came to Trotsky, you were carrying a message with an offer of an alliance from Lords Hanush and Radzik, were you not?
Exactly.
I think it is time I gave you my answer.
A wise decision, sir.
But suspicious. Why the sudden change of heart?
You think I'm some villain, don't you? But I've only ever wanted what is best, believe me. What is best for this country, for my loyal supporters, and, naturally, for myself. And I'm not ashamed of that. And it appears that Sigismund is no longer what is best. He's in trouble, both here and in Hungary. The army is not getting paid, morale is poor, and the Kuttenberg miners are rebelling, so the crown is running out of silver.
I see. The butcher's on his way, so you want to flee the pigsty, eh?
Naturally. And together we can even set fire to this pigsty, as you put it. If you want my advice.
I'm all ears, sir.
The last straw Sigismund is grasping is the royal treasury at the Italian court. If he were to lose his silver, he wouldn't be able to pay his soldiers and would have to withdraw to Hungary.
We're supposed to rob the Italian court.
The most secure place in the town?
Of course. And while you're there, you can also free the lords captured at Raborz.
My father.
Lord Pisek, as the former Mintmaster, you must surely know of some way to sneak in.
There is no way. The court's an impregnable fortress.
Really? What about tunneling in? There are hundreds of tunnels beneath the city, and if I'm not mistaken, one of them runs beneath the court.
That's total madness. There might be some passageway leading there, but no one knows those old tunnels now. Besides, they might collapse at any time. One could easily come to a bad end there.
But that can also happen when you try to mount a horse drunk. What's with this tunnel?
There's a whole labyrinth of tunnels under the city. You'd have to dig from inside the treasury to find the one you want. And where they all lead to, God alone knows.
God and me.
Oh, pardon me, milady, but how would you know?
Not all young noble women devote their days to embroidery, Sir Peter. I look after Father's documents, and I know all about the plans of the passageways beneath our palace. St. James's Church owes its existence in part to the generous donations of the Routards. So in the past we had a secret underground entrance built into its crypts, and St. James's is right next to the Italian court.
A handy escape route from the palace, eh? If you don't mind crawling through a tunnel, that is.
In short, you can theoretically walk directly from Routard Palace to the Italian court.
Sure. That is, after breaking through the walls that separate the crypt from the tunnel, and the tunnel from the cellars.
By Christ, it's worth a try.
That sounds almost too good to be true. And too easy. With a bit of luck, we'll get to the cellars of the court. What then?
What do you think? The guards will come down on you and it'll all be over.
So we need someone who can help us on the inside. Someone who'll distract the guards and lead us to the silver.
What about Ulrich Vavak? If we threaten him a little, he might help us.
Most importantly, he's got the Mintmaster's key. You'll need it to get to the silver. But I wouldn't advise you to rely on the help of that sycophant of Sigismund's.
Nor would I. Couldn't your brother help us instead, Lord Pisek?
Christian? He can be hard to deal with sometimes. He'd be taking a big risk, and besides, he doesn't have the Mintmaster's key to the treasury. I'm afraid Vavak's your only hope.
There is one other possibility.
Oh? What's that, Sir Otto?
Perhaps you have heard about the expected arrival here of a rare visitor from very far away.
Who? Do you mean... Surely not.
The very one.
What the fuck are you talking about? Speak clearly!
Well then, a papal legate is on his way to the town directly from Rome. He's coming to adjudicate the dispute about the new church.
What's that got to do with us?
Where would he be received except at the Italian court, along with his entourage? No one knows them, no one has ever seen them, and very few understand their language. They might as well be volunteering for you to take their place.
Well, bugger me. This is starting to sound fucking good.
What? What do you mean, take their place? Are we supposed to kill them, or what?
Why not?
Fuck.
We can't. Godwin, say something. You're a priest, after all.
You're right. Jesus. Get a grip, fellas. Do you want to burn in hell?
Calm down. We'll just lock the Pope's lackey up for a bit, and once we've got the silver, we'll let him go again. No one gets hurt.
St. Joseph, cover thy ears!
Where will we find that legate?
He's staying in Loretz, at the vineyard. He's got the use of the whole place for himself and his escort. But I don't know how many there are.
Good. We'll send Catherine there to have a look.
And then we'll burst in there and cause a bit of a fuss, so he doesn't get any stupid ideas. And that'll be that.
Is there no other way to solve it? Without violence?
Gentlemen, the legate is a man of the cloth, like me. I know Latin, and even a bit of Italian too, as it happens. I could explain to him what we need. Maybe we can persuade him to go along with it.
He'll tell us to kiss his arse, more likely.
Sir Hinek, never underestimate the power of sweet words. Especially when the listener has a knife at his throat.
It's true, none of us would be very convincing as an Italian cardinal. It'd be better if we made him take us with him, as his retinue.
But what do we do with the legate's real retinue?
Lock them up at the Devil's Den. One of our men can guard them there.
A couple more peculiar fellas blabbering nonsense won't look out of place there in the slightest.
All right, let's say we get inside with the legate. What then? What if he betrays us?
That's why we mustn't let him out of our sight. Godwin will take care of that.
Me?
You said you spoke Italian, didn't you? If he starts squealing, you'll hold a dagger to his ribs and ask him politely to play nice.
May God look the other way.
Meanwhile, the rest of us will have to deal with the guards inside, prepare the ground for digging, and open the treasury.
That's damned risky.
No one will be expecting us. As long as we don't make a ruckus too soon, it'll all be over. And the whole place will be ours before they even notice.
What if the legate refuses to talk to us?
Well, we can always beat him up. Take his clothes and let someone else put them on. Like, Godwin, eh? Since he's a priest.
Hold on. I'm not going to play the jester for anyone.
Nobody's asking you to. We stick to the plan. We'll work on the legate so he agrees to take us in with him. Then we'll find a way somehow.
All right. I can't think of anything better anyway.
Agreed then. We'll try gentle persuasion to begin with. And now, to the task. Henry, you go to the town and squeeze anything that could help us out of Vavak.
Most importantly, get that key from him.
Then wait for us at Rotard Palace, where we'll set up our base. We'll get there first thing in the morning.
And how are you going to get inside? The palace will be closed and may be guarded. I don't expect you want to march through the main entrance, where everyone can see you, and break the gate down while you're at it.
That's true, milady. What do you suggest?
There's not only a passageway to the church, but also down to the river. I know it like the back of my hand. I could show Henry the way if you like.
No offense, my lady, but you'll be safer here.
She's coming with me. Nobody knows Ruthard Palace as well as Lady Rosa.
Do you want to get into the court? Then you need Ruthard Palace. You want Ruthard Palace? Then I'm coming along.
All right. Both of you are going to town. And no dawdling. You should be on the road tomorrow at the latest. Time is of the essence.
That's that then. Let's get to work.
What do you think of the deal with von Berghoff?
I don't care about von Berghoff right now. Did you see how everyone ignored me there? I may be younger than them, but I'm still a nobleman.
They're nobles too.
That was no obstacle to you in Malashov when you went against the devil.
I wouldn't be able to live with myself if I didn't do something.
That makes sense. And the devil could use a few more cuts and bruises. You did the right thing. I probably wouldn't have taken him on.
If Sir Hanush saw you at Malashov, he'd be proud.
Well, now I just look like a fool. And it was only thanks to me that von Berghoff even lived to see that council.
But you can't really blame Sam. If you were in his place, you'd see red too.
Whatever. Someone like him has no business threatening a noble's life.
Someone like him?
You know what I mean. Why do you keep defending that madman?
What's bothering you about Sam so much? You're bad-mouthing him all the time.
He's simply doing everything in his power to piss us off. He does whatever he wants, doesn't listen to orders, sticks his nose into everything, and if someone stops him from doing something completely moronic, he goes mad. Yeah. Well, maybe you two really are related.
What did you think of von Bergov's interrogation?
Oh, well, no blood was spilled. Nobody got tortured, and Otto kept all his fingers. So if you ask me, it went nice and peacefully.
Isn't it strange how von Bergov suddenly bends over backwards to help us?
Not really. He's a selfish fucker who goes where the wind blows in his favor. Actually, I kinda like that about him.
Is there any chance we could actually pull off this robbery?
Only if everybody does what they're told. You included.
I thought that was water under the bridge.
I'd love to forget that beating, believe me. But the body gets old, and every new wound takes longer to heal than the one before.
Now you sound like some grandpa with one foot in the grave.
Watch that grandpa doesn't tickle your belly with a knife in the night, you cheeky bugger. But hey, let bygones be bygones. Actually, it's a good thing we didn't have to slaughter those dung grubbers. But now you have to listen to your elders and betters. Got it?
Have you and Zizka thought about what you're gonna do with the Italian court silver?
I'm not planning that far ahead. First we'll have to steal it, and then get out alive. I'll think about how many rounds of beer and wenches it'll pay for when I'm sitting on top of it somewhere safe.
But what if the plan falls apart?
I won't lie. There's a very high chance some things will go belly up. And if it does, we'll all be praying for a quick death.
You're not serious about praying for a quick death, are you?
You fucking bet I am. Getting caught with Sigismund's silver in our clutches would be the beginning of a very long and fucking painful journey to the afterlife.
I'd like to learn from a master.
Not now. Come back later. If we're to be in town by morning, we have to leave at night. It's a long journey.
We'll leave in the evening. We'll get closer to the town under the cover of night. We'll split into smaller groups and spread out around the town walls. We'll wait there until morning and then trickle in from all directions.
Each man alone?
In pairs at most.
And watch each other's backs. I'd love to hear the latest gossip. It travels fast in the town.
I'd rather we didn't attract too much attention.
Damn. And I was looking forward to getting a nice cold one at the Emperor Charles.
Forget about it.
All right then. I'll get one from Pizek's cellar before we go.
What will you do when me and Lady Rosa go to town?
We need to fix ourselves up. We've got some wounded to take care of. We also need to work out some details of our plan.
Such as?
That Rutard passageway will help us. But it's only the first step. We need to know how the court runs, and then what we'll load the silver onto, and where we'll take it. And, just in case, we need to know escape routes from the town.
What will happen to von Bergov now?
What do you think? He'll stay here. Pisek will watch him and keep him company. Well, he may not be as pretty as Rutard's daughter, but he could get some more useful information out of him.
How does von Bergov seem to you? He's not nearly as threatening now.
W dupie mam Bergowa. Ale ta dzierlatka, którą ukrywał w wieży, jest warta grzechu. Piękna, młoda, wzór cnót niewieścich. Gdy jednak zaciągniesz się do wyrka, to będziesz rad, że dożyjesz rana. To widać od razu.
She Ruthard's daughter, you pig. No hostage. She on our side.
Tym lepiej. Myśmy ją przecież oswobodzili. Jeśli jest dobrze wychowana, to miałaby się nam wszystkim odwdzięczyć.
Is he talking about Rosa?
He just say she is a very fine lady. No more.
Do you really believe our plan can succeed?
You'll need a big dose of luck, but I think it might just work. Normally, careful preparations would be underway by now. Arranging for the silver to be split up and moved to several locations, various safety measures, evaluation of all possible risks. But we don't have time for that.
What are we going to use Sigismund's silver for?
Don't count your chickens before they've hatched, lad. If you really do get your hands on the silver, you need to get away with it first. As far as possible. Margrave Jobst will find some use for it later. Or do you have any other suggestions?
If we have a chance to raise an army against Sigismund, we should spend the whole lot on it.
Yes. I think Jobst will share your opinion. And hopefully, it'll be enough.
Then what if our plan fails?
Then you will have to hide or defend yourself. King Sigismund will not let something like that go unpunished. You'll either have to flee across the border or count on influential allies. And if not influential, then at least strong. I'll also be punished, of course. I'll lose my keep, my estates, my possession, and finally, maybe even my life.
We better try our damnedest then. When everything's at stake.
Yes, that will be a wise approach.
Lady Rosa seemed right at home during von Burgov's interrogation.
That she did. She really is her father's daughter. She has her late mother's beauty. God grant her eternal peace. But she really got her personality from Kunzlin. Had she been born a boy, Rutald would have had an heir other men could only dream of.
Do you also find it strange how quickly von Burgov turned his coat and started helping us?
Indeed I do, but there are several likely explanations. The king's position in the country is even more precarious than we thought. And his allies are leaving him in ever greater numbers.
But what would von Burgov stand to gain if Sigismund returned to Hungary?
That I do not know. And I fear the day we find out, because if I know one thing about Otto, it's that he never acts recklessly.
Look out!
Greetings to you, friend.
But Berta won't survive the night.
There's nothing we can do to help him anymore?
I tried a chamomile decoction, but he's in too much pain to fall asleep.
I'll go and see him. We'll pray together. And if you want, I'll stay with him. Until the end.
Praying won't help him. Better to give him some potion that'll put him to sleep. A sleep he may never wake up from.
Do you really regard that as humane? Killing him instead of letting him die in peace when his time comes.
In peace? Have you even seen him?
Did you hear what was arranged with von Burgov?
Of course, but I don't even have the will to shake my head anymore.
I keep wondering why a woman like you tags along with blokes like us.
And what did you come up with?
It occurred to me maybe you and I are a bit alike.
You don't say. Like how?
Well, for example, I lost everything. I have nowhere to go back to. I have a father, but I barely know him. The Devil's Pack is like my family now. I thought you might be in a similar situation.
Family. Pfft, a fine family that is. Murderers, drunks, fornicators, and gamblers led by the devil himself.
Oh, come on, you know what I mean.
Look, I'm simply here. Does it bother you? Would you prefer if I wasn't here?
No, not at all. I thought...
Then don't think, and keep yourself to yourself.
Look out!
Herzlich willkommen.
Did you and Capon make up?
I do not see any reason to.
Don't worry, you're not going to die.
Well, you didn't expect us to let you murder von Berghoff, did you?
Pah, he would have deserved it, noble or not.
Don't worry, you'll be fine.
He's worth far more to us alive.
More than the people from our village who died in the Gezerah? That is some chutzpah, my friend.
I understand. I've been through the same when Skalitz was burned to the ground. People I've known all my life died there.
Then tell me, how would you feel to have revenge within your grasp, only for Capon to show up and say, "No, no, bad Henry, you cannot do that"?
Now, of course I'd be pissed off. But there's a lot more at stake here than some personal grudge.
I reckon that whoreson is sitting on his shinken in one of the finest chambers too. I am fucking thrilled.
Not now! I can't hear a bloody thing!
Lord be with you. Another monk.
It looks like the two of us will be going to Kuttenberg alone.
I can hardly wait.
Aren't you looking forward to going home?
When they captured Pa, Von Bergov's people came to Rutard Palace.
Did they do anything to you?
No, I wasn't harmed. But before they took me away, they ransacked the place. Then Von Bergov just took me to Malashov. It's likely Vavak took our home for himself. He's always threatened to do that.
You can try. When we free your father, Ruthard Palace will be yours again.
I hope so. But that's still far from certain.
How do we even get inside Ruthard Palace?
Like I said, through the underground.
Well, I suppose by now I ought to know you don't have back doors here. Just secret passages, eh?
You are in mining country, you know. There's more going on here below ground than above.
How will I find the entrance this time? From the position of some cross again?
No, I'll guide you this time. It's just below the walls. You only need to know where to turn.
Are you ready to go?
There's no point in dallying.
All right, let's go.
Well, here we are. I'm not keen on going into that darkness.
Are you afraid?
Of the dark? Me? I'm not a little girl. But God knows what we'll find inside. Especially at the far end.
Well, we'll just have to find out. You said you'd lead the way.
Stick close to me. Let's go. Usually there's only a small trickle running through here. The water must have risen.
Now be careful not to fall into the water. Those servants might think there's a water sprite crawling out of their cellar.
Most of them have known me since I was a little girl, and they're not easily frightened. Do you have any idea how many times they had to wash, dress, and groom me to make me presentable to my father? I mean, when I was little, of course. Oof, that startled me. Anyway, what's Lord Capon's problem with underground passageways? When I mentioned it at Sukdol, he looked like he was about to faint.
When we were defending the Barkov, he got buried under the rubble from a demolished tower.
Oh my god!
And he was lucky to survive it. I still remember him calling for help. He was scared to death. There was nothing we could do. That's when he was captured by von Bergov. Since then, he's not comfortable with tight spaces.
Sorry. I was a silly goose to bring it up. Damn. I didn't count on it being so deep.
Everything all right?
No. Don't you see how deep it is ahead of us?
I hope you don't expect me to carry you.
I most certainly do. Unless you want to prove to me that you really are an uncouth village oaf after all.
Well, what's to be done? I'll carry you over.
Don't worry, though. I'm not some fragile petal. What's the hurry? I've got plenty of time. This is not how one carries a lady, you barbarian.
Maybe not in Kuttenberg, but it's how we did it in Skalitz.
But it's not very comfortable.
Ah, just grin and bear it, my lady. We're almost there. That's a good one.
Oof! I don't think you'd be welcome at a royal court. But I am dry, so I thank
Voices.
you.
Looks like we've got company. And not welcome company, I reckon.
Look at all this mess. I can hardly recognize this place.
This doesn't look like the work of Avax people. More like city rabble and beggars.
They're acting like they own the place. If Pa were to see this, we must get rid of them.
So you want me to get rid of them? But what will you do? I'm responsible for keeping you safe.
Don't you worry. You don't have to hold my hand in my own home. Do you see this ivy here? It goes all the way up to the window of my chamber. That's where I keep my crossbow. I bet that riffraff didn't find it. If I climb up there, I can cover you from above. Just in case.
What? Are you crazy? You can't climb such a height.
Oh, don't worry. I've been climbing up there ever since I was a little girl.
But they'll see you.
No, they won't. I'll be round the corner before they have a chance. There's a wooden balustrade there all the way to the window. It's like climbing a ladder.
Are you really sure that Ivy can support your weight? You're not a little girl anymore.
You really know how to compliment a lady, eh? Now keep quiet and turn round. I don't want you looking up my skirt.
Right then. Here we go. I hope Rosa can aim well.
I'm tired of dice anyway. Well, let's play another game. Look, there's someone there. He must be deaf.
And dumb on top of it. Get him! I'll show you.
Ah! Sucker! Rosa? Could you... Rosa!
You want to try me? Take that! I'll rip your ass open! I'm on! Let's see what you're made of, you
Show
bastard!
Fuck you!
You want to try? I'm all yours. I've been waiting for you.
Are you alright?
I am. For now. Are you all right, Henry? I think I hit one too.
You're a good shot. Capon and Kabianka wouldn't believe their eyes.
Thanks.
Is something wrong?
Someone's trying to break through the door.
Oh, damn it. I'll be there in a moment.
Be careful.
Load your crossbow, and if they get inside before I get there, shoot them.
I barricaded the door. I'm sure I can hold out for a while.
Clean shot. You didn't suffer much. They left no stone unturned.
Now you're gonna
mess.
die.
I'm on! Show your stuff. You know... Huh? What was that?
Rosa? It's me.
Henry, are you all right?
I'm in one piece.
Are they gone? All of them?
Aye. It's over.
All right. I'll let you in. You can come in now.
So, here we are. Welcome home.
It doesn't feel much like home anymore. They were behaving like animals in here.
Right. We've got a lot of work to do. But we'll get there. You'll see. We have to. There's a lot at stake.
That's true. You know, Henry, I want to ask you something. And I want an honest answer, all right? If everything were to go wrong at the Italian court and, God forbid, you had to choose, would you still try to rescue my father, even if it meant putting stealing the silver in jeopardy?
The lives of allies are obviously the most valuable asset to us. Without their support, the silver would be useless anyway.
Not to mention it wouldn't last you very long anyway.
Don't worry. We'll either leave the Italian court with the lords, or...
Or not at all.
Don't worry about the mess. Our boys will happily clean up once they get here. We owe you that.
The mess is the last thing on my mind. There was my mother's silver, my brother's hunting trophies, and my books. It's all gone.
If our plans succeed and your father is freed, do you know what will come next?
I try not to think about it.
Why? That's why you're helping us, isn't it?
If you get the king's silver, my father and I will have to hide. Leave the region, go somewhere out of Sigismund's men's reach, and you and I will have to part ways.
I won't let you go away. Even if I have to fight with your father, Zizka, and the devil.
Is that so?
I'll even tell Sigismund. Run back to Hungary. This girl is staying here.
That all sounds very nice, but there's nothing left here anyway. We've lost everything.
You'll be all right.
My father would clap you in irons for that.
And for this?
Oh, it seems you know how a lady should be carried.
Where to, ma'am? I don't see any rivers, ditches, or puddles to cross.
Dami castitatem e continentiam, sed non le moro. Forward, Sir Knight.
Oh, Christ. Oh, is it morning already? Zizka and the others will most likely be here by now. I should go and have a look. You know about yesterday evening? And night?
What about it?
I thought maybe you want to talk about it.
Do you think there's anything to talk about?
Well, what's next for us?
Nothing, most likely. I'm Lord Rutard's daughter. Our name still means a lot, despite all the trouble we're in. When my pa is free and an opportunity presents itself, I'll have to get married.
And what if your pa found out about us?
What exactly would he find out about?
That his daughter is no longer, entirely chaste?
Someone would have to tell him. It certainly won't be me, and I recommend you keep quiet as well. Are we clear?
Quite clear.
Although, maybe it won't even matter. Our plan may very well fail, and no one might survive. Why throw something nice away prematurely? You know, carpe diem et memento mori.
Well, if that's how you feel.
Henry, good morning.
And a good morning to you too.
Have a nice one, eh?
Tell me, how did the siege of Kuttenberg go?
Ah, mon ami, poorly, poorly. But what could I do? Stand down from leading the defense like a coward? After all, I had to live up to my reputation. And at the time, it did not look hopeless at all. I thought it would be enough to stall Sigismund for a while before the Allied army arrived. And that would not have been so difficult.
Only no army arrived.
Précisément. The hope for a swift end melted away, and the courage of the burghers along with it. I, who fought in 5 countries, was relieved of command, arrested, and handed over to Sigismund.
I heard your attack on the trebuchets was a disaster.
It is true, but that was not my fault. The Kuttenbergers blamed me to cover up their own failure. Ces connards. I made the correct decision, but I was given bad intelligence. The Kuttenberg spies that I sent out reported that the trebuchets weren't defended, but they were too cowardly to take a good look from up close. This tragedy would never have happened if it were not for their stupidity and lack of heart. But enough of that. There is no point, as you say, in crying over the spilled milk. One must move forward. In the meantime, however, I can pass on some of my experience to you. After all, I am not getting any younger, so it is time to pass my wisdom on to future generations.
I'd like to learn.
Unfortunately, I cannot right now. Come later, mon ami.
I'd like to learn something.
Unfortunately, I cannot right now. Come later, mon ami.
What do you think of our band of outcasts?
Well, I cannot say I expected to end up in this kind of company. I am more used to royal courts or, at least, wealthy burghers. But a man must accept his destiny as it comes.
How do you get on with Sir Hans?
Oh, young Lord Chapon may be inexperienced and hot-headed at times, but he's one of the few here who knows how to play chess. And I have a great respect for chess players. Needless to say, he has not managed to beat me yet. Godwin and Jiska can also play. And that devil in press clothing beat me. Merde.
Have you met Godwin?
The priest who is very skilled with a sword. Priests should not be such good swordsmen. That is what knights like me are for. In addition, he can play chess just as well as he wields a sword. And in drinking wine, he beats even the best Frenchmen. A man of talents. Or perhaps the devil is behind it.
What do you think of Zizka?
Le Chevalier Jan? Well, he's not doing badly for a minor nobleman, but I think he will never be accepted among the higher nobles and knights. That takes a lot more. Mark my words. I am a good judge of people.
I can't get Catherine out of my head. I don't understand her. I'm sure you have more experience of love than me. What do you make of her? Why is she with us?
Ah, you're right. I am a connoisseur of love like I am of wine. But for my taste, Mademoiselle Catherine is of somewhat aged vintage. Though, I have to admit she's full-bodied and fragrant.
That's not really what I meant. Why is a woman like her with us?
Là est la question. I had the feeling something terrible happened to her in the past.
So do I. But what?
I have no idea. But she is fond of you, if you ask me. Try asking her, and maybe something will come of it. L'amour!
Oh, come on.
I am a good judge of people, trust me. L'amour.
What do you think of Sir Hynek?
Ah, le diable sec. A capable chevalier. But I do not trust him. There is treachery in his eyes.
You think so?
My instinct rarely lets me down.
How do you get on with Janosch and Adder?
Oh, those two. Once in Kuttenberg, I also had a servant who pretended not to understand me and thought I did not understand him when he spoke German in my presence. But he was wrong. He is no longer my servant.
Have you had the chance to meet my half-brother yet?
Samuel. It is strange that he joined our group. It is not usual for his, people. But he's certainly a good reinforcement.
What do you think of Kubienka?
A good warrior. But he has no morals and no manners, like all mercenaries.
Well, I don't think he cares much about that.
And that is just the problem. How can you trust a man who does not want to be a knight?
Sir Vaculin, you've had an exciting life. Tell me some stories.
Bien sûr. Your interest is gratifying and quite understandable.
What was the hunting incident?
We were out in the royal hunting grounds when I caught sight of a white stag. There had long been rumors about it, so imagine the prestige I would have gained by getting it. I set off after it, pierced its flank with arrows, and unleashed the hounds to finish it off. When I arrived, it turned out that my aunt had not killed a stag but the horse of a lady, a court favorite of the queen's. I fell out of her favor, and all the doors became closed to me.
Ah, you were damned unlucky. But that could have happened to anyone, couldn't it?
Quite right. I'm glad you are sensible enough to agree with me. A misfortune like that, which could indeed happen to anyone, would make lesser men roll with Lothar. But the other lords were afraid I would outshine them, so they were waiting for a chance to get rid of me. And that chance came along, unfortunately.
Thanks for sharing your stories with me, Sir Vaculin.
Greetings to you!
Zizka! I see you're already here. How was the journey? Did you run into any trouble?
No, it actually went quite well. Brabant wouldn't shut up, though. Credit where credit's due. He really helped in Malishov. That hit to the gate came at just the right time. We'd have dropped like flies if not for his men. But sometimes, I feel like letting something blow up next to my head, too. Just so as not to have to listen to him for a while. I'd be more interested in hearing what happened here yesterday. When we got here, it was like a pigsty.
Some local beggars set up a lair in here. We had to get rid of them somehow.
What about Rosa? Doesn't she regret coming too?
Why would she? She asked for it herself.
Mainly because you were going. She doesn't seem to like the rest of the group very much.
It's not like you're doing much to change her mind. And the way things look around here certainly didn't improve her mood.
We may be bastards, but we're not ungrateful. Anyway, I told the men to get rid of the bodies and clean up the place a little. Hope the lady won't mind.
Quite the contrary, I think.
How did it go with Vavak, anyway?
Well, after everything that happened, I didn't want to leave Rosa here by herself. I'll have to go and see him now.
I understand. But go and see him as soon as possible. We won't get anywhere without his Mint Master's key.
I'd like to learn a few tricks.
It'll take some time, but throw in a bit of coin and I'll teach you whatever you want.
How do you always manage to hit the target? Even when you're pissed drunk?
The problem is I can't hit shit if I'm not drunk.
Isn't that addiction?
It's experience.
And that's what I'm interested in, Kubianka.
All right, let's get started then.
Dzień dobry, Henryk.
And to you too, Adder. How are you?
Dobrze. Czeka nas kolejny piękny dzień.